It's a milestone many look forward to, celebrating 8 decades of life, experience, and wisdom. But hitting 80 and moving beyond often comes with a set of changes that can catch you off guard. We talk a lot about aging gracefully, and that's important. But sometimes we don't talk enough about the undeniable shifts that happen. Shifts that, while challenging, are part of the journey. Ignoring them doesn't make them go away. Understanding them can actually empower you to navigate this stage with greater peace and resilience. It's not about being negative. It's about being real. And honestly, the secret to thriving is often in facing the tough stuff head-on. With clarity and courage, in this video, we're going to look at 6 significant realities that often become more pronounced after you turn 80. Things that people don't always tell you, but things that every senior really should understand. It's about preparing your heart and mind for what might lie ahead, or what you might already be experiencing. Knowing these realities isn't meant to scare you, it's meant to equip you. It's about understanding the landscape so you can walk it with more confidence and less fear. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is simply name the challenges you might face. So, let's talk about these realities openly and honestly, and make sure you watch right to the end, because there's something we'll discuss that might truly surprise you. Now, let's start with that first reality, one that often becomes increasingly difficult to ignore as the years tick by: the undeniable changes in our physical bodies. You might have been active your whole life. Perhaps you still are. But after 80, even simple tasks can sometimes become a challenge. The harsh reality is that physical frailty, the loss of strength and balance, often accelerates in these later years. Things that were once easy, climbing stairs, carrying groceries, even getting out of a chair, can require more effort, more time, and, sometimes, more help. Chronic conditions that were manageable in your 60s or 70s might become more complex, or demand more of your attention. Appointments with doctors and specialists can start to fill up your calendar. Pain might become a more frequent companion. It's a reality that can feel frustrating, even unfair. Especially if you've always prided yourself on your independence. You might find yourself needing aids you never thought you would. A cane, a walker, grab bars in the bathroom. This isn't a sign of failure. It's simply a natural part of the aging process for many. The emotional toll of this can be significant. You might grieve the loss of the physical freedom you once had. You might feel vulnerable or dependent. But understanding this reality allows you to approach it proactively. What does that look like? It means focusing on maintaining the strength and mobility you do have. Simple exercises, like chair exercises or gentle walking, can make a huge difference in preserving muscle mass and balance. Working with a physical therapist can provide tailored exercises to address specific limitations and reduce fall risk. It also means adapting your environment. Simple home modifications, like better lighting, removing tripping hazards, or installing railings, can enhance safety and maintain independence longer. It's about accepting that your body is different now, but finding ways to support it and work with its current capabilities, rather than constantly comparing it to how it used to be, alongside the physical changes. Another profound reality often takes hold: an intensifying sense of loneliness. As we age, particularly after 80, our social circles naturally begin to shrink. Friends, siblings, even spouses may pass away. Children and grandchildren have their own busy lives, often living far away. Getting out and about to social gatherings might become harder due to mobility issues or health concerns. The result can be long stretches of time spent alone, leading to feelings of isolation and loneliness. This isn't just a sad feeling. Chronic loneliness has real health consequences, impacting both mental and physical well-being. It's a harsh reality because it contrasts with the lifetime of relationships you've built. Suddenly, the world can feel a lot quieter, a lot smaller. You might find yourself missing the casual chats, the shared meals, the simple presence of others. Acknowledging this feeling is the first step. It's okay to feel lonely. It's a normal human emotion. But you don't have to surrender to it entirely. Combating loneliness requires intentional effort, and it might look different than it did when you were younger. Could you explore virtual connections? Learning to use video calls can allow you to see and talk to family and friends no matter the distance. Are there local senior centers or community groups? Even if getting there is a challenge, many offer transportation or activities that are designed to be accessible. Could you find a way to volunteer, even in a limited capacity? Helping others can create new connections and give you a sense of purpose. Perhaps adopting a pet, if you're able to care for one, could provide companionship. It's about actively seeking out opportunities for connection, even small ones, and being open to forming new relationships. Remember, connection isn't just about grand social events. It's often found in the simple moments of shared humanity. This reality of potential loneliness is difficult, but understanding it allows you to look for ways to weave connection back into your life, however you can. Moving on from the physical body and our social connections. The third reality that many people over 80 confront is a sense of feeling invisible. In a world that often prioritizes youth, speed, and new technology, older adults can sometimes feel overlooked, dismissed, or irrelevant. You might notice people talking past you, making assumptions about your capabilities, or even using condescending tones. Your opinions might be sought less often, or you might feel like you're no longer seen as a contributing member of society in the way you once were. This can be incredibly disheartening. You have 80 years or more of experience, wisdom, and perspective, yet the world around you might seem to ignore it. It's a harsh reality to feel like you've faded into the background, that your voice doesn't carry the weight it used to, or that the younger generations simply aren't interested in what you have to offer. This feeling of invisibility can erode your self-esteem and make you question your value. However, this reality is less about you and more about society's sometimes narrow view of aging. Your value isn't determined by how much the world sees you, but by who you are and the life you've lived. How do you navigate this? It begins with recognizing that this feeling isn't a reflection of your worth. It's an external challenge to be met with inner strength. Look for opportunities to engage where you are valued, perhaps within your family, sharing stories and wisdom with grandchildren, maybe in a specific community group or place of worship where your experience is appreciated. If you're able, consider writing your memoirs or recording your life story, preserving your legacy and giving voice to your experiences. It's also about asserting yourself when appropriate, politely correcting assumptions, sharing your perspective when asked or even when not asked, if the situation calls for it, and simply continuing to be present and engaged in whatever ways you can. Dons underestimate the quiet power of simply living authentically and continuing to pursue your interests, regardless of whether or not the wider world is paying attention. Your life, your experiences, and your wisdom are inherently valuable, even if you sometimes feel unseen. Another significant reality that can become more pressing after 80 is the financial one. While some people are financially secure, many face the harsh reality of dwindling savings, rising healthcare costs, and fixed incomes that don't keep pace with inflation. Medications, home care, specialized equipment, and unexpected medical emergencies can quickly deplete resources. Pensions and investments might not stretch as far as you hoped they would. The fear of becoming a burden on family or running out of money is a very real and stressful prospect for many older adults. It's a reality that can cause sleepless nights and constant worry. This isn't just about not being able to afford luxuries. It's about worrying about basic necessities like food, housing, and essential healthcare. The financial landscape of retirement, especially a long one, can be incredibly complex and unpredictable. Understanding this reality means taking stock of your financial situation, no matter how uncomfortable it might be. Are there resources available to help look into government programs for seniors that might offer assistance with healthcare costs, housing, or food? Are there local charities or organizations that provide support? Sometimes, simply talking to a financial advisor who specializes in elder care finances can provide clarity and potential strategies. Even on a limited income, it might involve difficult decisions about downsizing your home, adjusting your budget, or seeking help from family if that's an option and a conversation you're comfortable having. Open communication about finances, both with trusted advisors and potentially with family, can help alleviate some of the stress. While it's a harsh reality, facing it head-on with as much information and planning as possible can provide a greater sense of control in a situation that often feels out of control. It's about exploring every avenue for support and making informed decisions based on your current resources. The fifth reality that often shifts after 80 is the dynamic of your relationships with your adult children and other family members. While these relationships are often a source of great joy and support, the roles can sometimes subtly or significantly change. You might find yourself relying more on your children for practical help, transportation, managing finances, navigating appointments. They, in turn, might start to see themselves more in a caregiver or protective role, even if you still feel perfectly capable. This shift, while often coming from a place of love and concern, can sometimes lead to friction. You might feel like you're losing your independence or that your children are overstepping. They might feel overwhelmed by the responsibility or frustrated if you resist their help. It's a delicate dance, and it's a harsh reality when these dynamics become strained. Communication is key, but it can be challenging. Expressing your desire for independence while also acknowledging your needs is important. Similarly, your children expressing their concerns and willingness to help is vital. It requires open, honest conversations about expectations, boundaries, and capabilities on both sides. Sometimes, involving a neutral third party, like a family therapist, can help navigate complex family dynamics. It's about finding a balance where you receive the support you need without feeling stripped of your autonomy, and where your children can help without feeling resentful or overburdened. This stage of life often involves redefining family roles and finding new ways to connect and support each other. It's a reality that demands patience, understanding, and a willingness to adapt how you relate to the people closest to you. Finally, the sixth reality, and perhaps the most profound, is confronting your own mortality. While we are always aware, on some level, that life is finite, after 80 this truth often comes into sharper focus. The passing of contemporaries, coupled with your own physical changes, serves as a potent reminder that your time is increasingly precious. This isn't about dwelling on death in a morbid way, but about acknowledging the finite nature of life and what that means for how you choose to live the time you have left. For some, this reality can bring anxiety or fear. For others, it brings a profound sense of urgency and clarity about what truly matters. The harshness lies in the unavoidable truth of it all. The understanding that the future is not limitless. However, understanding this reality can also be incredibly liberating. It can free you from worrying about trivial things and allow you to focus on what brings you joy, meaning, and peace. It might involve thinking about your legacy, not necessarily in terms of grand achievements, but in the impact you've had on your loved ones, the stories you pass down, the values you've embodied. It might involve making peace with your past and focusing on living fully in the present. Conversations about end-of-life wishes, while difficult, can bring peace of mind for both you and your family. This reality invites you to reflect on your life, to appreciate the journey, and to find acceptance in the natural cycle of existence. It's an opportunity for introspection, for finding spiritual or philosophical comfort, and for cherishing the moments you have. Facing mortality isn't about giving up. It's about embracing the preciousness of the time that remains and living it as authentically and meaningfully as possible. We've talked about the shifts in your physical body, the potential for loneliness, the feeling of being unseen, the financial pressures, the changing family dynamics, and the unavoidable reality of confronting your own mortality. These aren't easy topics, and experiencing these realities can be challenging, even painful at times. But remember, understanding these aspects of life after 80 isn't about focusing on the negative. It's about acknowledging the landscape so you can navigate it with awareness, grace, and resilience. Every stage of life has its unique challenges and its unique joys. The key is in how we approach them. You have a lifetime of strength, adaptability, and wisdom to draw upon. These realities are simply new facets of the human experience, ones that come with living a long life, a gift in itself. Small changes, small shifts in perspective, can make a monumental difference in your experience. Focusing on what you can control, finding joy in the present moment, nurturing the relationships that matter most, and giving yourself grace and compassion through the difficult times are all incredibly powerful strategies. You are not alone in facing these realities. Millions of people before you have walked this path, and countless others are walking it alongside you right now. There is a wealth of collective wisdom and support available if you seek it out. What are your experiences with these realities? Or perhaps other realities that have surprised you after turning 80? Sharing your thoughts and feelings can not only help you process them, but can also provide invaluable support and insight for others in this community. Please feel free to leave a comment below and share your perspective. Your voice matters. If you found this conversation helpful, or if it resonated with you, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps us reach more people who might benefit from hearing this message. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to our channel. We're here to explore the realities of aging, offering insights, support, and practical advice to help you live your best life. No matter your age, we believe that every stage of life is an opportunity for growth, meaning, and connection. Thank you for spending this time with us. Remember, life after 80 is a unique chapter, full of its own complexities and beauty. Embrace it, face its realities with courage, and continue to live your best life, today and every day.